This is my first live in my Facebook group, Get Crafty with Amy Romeo, and I really appreciate you being here to support me and hang out. I'm really excited today because I want to show you how I take a regular SVG and turn it into an earring SVG, and then I want to show you how to make the earrings. So I think it'll be really fun. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you the SVG that I'll be using. It's from Design Bundles, and let me just show you where that is. And I will also show you this. It's a paw print with a little heart cut out. There's some bones. This is free right now on Design Bundles. I can't say that it will always be free on Design Bundles, but at least it is right now. I also have a page on my blog that I wanted to show you that's going to have all the links to the materials for today and also the link to get the SVG when you're ready for it. And it's just amyromeo.com/getcrafty. So I'll pop that up there for you so you can make a note of it. And all the supplies that I'll be showing you today are on that page. So hopefully, if you're going to craft along with me, you downloaded the free SVG from Design Bundles. And if not, you can do that anytime and just hang out with me and watch. That would be awesome. So let's head over to Cricut Design Space. Oh, let me put this up here for you. The link to all the supplies and all the materials. Sorry about that. So there's the link. And I'm just going to head over to my canvas in Cricut Design Space. And I've already uploaded the SVG into Design Space. There's actually 4 different ones. It's the paw with the heart, the paw without the heart, it's the bone, and the bone with the heart. So I'm only going to upload the paw with the heart. And that one is called, if you downloaded it also, the file is called Dog Paw with Heart 2. So let me grab that and just click on it to bring it into my canvas. And here it is. And as you can see, it's really big. And the reason I wanted to demonstrate this SVG is because it's a very simple, one color design. It's going to be really easy to turn it into cute earrings, but we need to make some modifications to it first. Let me zoom out just a tad. So the first thing I want to do is make it smaller. And I'm just going to drag and make it a little smaller. And I'm going to get it around 1 inch right now. 1.2 inches is fine just for now. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it because I want the paw to stand upright. Let me zoom back in again so you could see a little better. Oh, where did it go? There it is. So now that I've got it this way, I'm going to make it a tiny bit smaller because I'm going to add a border to it. The earring is going to have 2 layers. Wait, let me show you real quick. Hi, Donna. Let me show you real quick. So I have the top layer, which you see on the screen is black. And then the bottom layer is going to be an outline that I make using offset. So it's just an easy little 2-layer design. And I like that I get to show you how to use offset. The bottom material that I'm using is cork, which I'm obsessed with these days. I have another blog post planned next week that uses pattern cork, which I think you're really going to like. But you can use any faux leather on the bottom and any heat transfer vinyl on the top. But this is the little design that we'll be making. So let me get back to Design Space. And the next thing I want to do is add my outline or my offset. So offset is a relatively new feature in Cricut Design Space. Right now it's late summer of 2021. If you don't have offset yet, you should be getting it soon. It'll be rolling out to everyone, but I think almost everyone has it now. So it's right up here at the top. You'll click on offset, and then it's basically, you can see a preview of the outline that it's going to add. And that one's a little too big. So I actually like 0.1 as an offset, but you can play around with it and see what you like. And I'll click apply. And then it creates the little offset for us in kind of a charcoal gray color. It doesn't really matter what colors we pick here, but I just want to make it so it's a little easier for us to see. So now we've got the two layers, the black layer will be our glitter heat transfer vinyl, and the bottom layer is going to be that cork. But again, any faux leather you want to use, you can use. So now I select it again, and I see once I've added the offset, it's made it 1.2 inches wide, which is just a tiny bit bigger than I want it to be. Again, you can adjust the size and you can make the earrings as big or as small as you want them. But I make a lot of earrings and I try and stay no wider than 1.3 inches. If not, they just get too big. Obviously, if you're making some really bold, fashionable, you know, some kind of statement earrings, then you can make them as wide as you want. But for the average face, the average person, I find 1.3 inches is a good size. So now I've got that at 1.1 inches, which is smaller than 1.3 because I don't need to sort of, you know, make them as big as possible. Now that I've got them like that, I'm going to duplicate them. So I'll go ahead and click duplicate. Actually, you know what? Before I duplicate, I want to show you how I make an earring hole. Do you want to see how I make an earring hole? So a lot of my designs, as you know, let me flip back over to me for a second. A lot of my designs, you know, I don't put an earring hole in the SVG, and that's because Cricut Design Space, Cricut sometimes struggles to cut the hole and make a nice clean hole. I don't worry about it too much. I usually just use my 1/16 inch hole punch and I punch the holes myself. But I do like having a hole in the design so that the Cricut can cut it. And even if it doesn't cut it all the way through, then I know exactly where to follow up with the hole punch. So even though I don't normally put a hole in my designs, I want to show you how I do it so that when you're doing your own earrings, you know how to do it. So let me switch back. Hi, Jody. Thank you for being here. Let me switch back to Cricut Design Space. Okay, so the hole size that I use is just a basic circle, and I'm going to go over here to Shapes, click on Circle, and then I want this circle to be 0.08, which is super tiny. Now normally I'm able to do this here in my top menu bar. Oh, here we go. I just have my little menu bar reduced for my live here, but I think I can do it that way. There we go. So my little hole is 0.08. I make my holes 0.08 or 0.09, and that's it. I really don't change them. So if you want to make your own earrings, that's a good hole size to start with. Let me just go ahead and make it a different color so we can see it. Let's see, there we go. Let's see. I've got some Facebook users on here. I don't see your names, but hello to everyone that's on helping me out. I appreciate it. Just being supportive. I love it. All right, so let me zoom in a little more and show you what I do with the hole. All right. Oh, now I've lost my hole. There we go. So I'm going to drag my hole basically over to where I want it to be on the paw print. That's a little too close. I'm going to have to drag it down a little. There we go. Now, this is the trick about holes, earring holes. I am going to use this red dot to, let me switch back to me for a second. I'm going to use the red dot to slice out of the layers. So if the red dot is only on the bottom layer, then I'm only going to slice one hole one time. If I need the hole to go through both layers, then I need to create two holes and slice through both layers. So let me show you what I mean. So we can see here with our little paw print, oh goodness, I lost it again. We can see that the red is only on the yellow. So I'm going to be able to just slice that out of the yellow. If I needed to also slice it out of the black, I would have to duplicate the hole and then align them so each hole is on top of one another so that I'm slicing the hole in the exact same spot. And what I'll probably do is do another earring design where I can show you how to do that better. But for now, just know that if you want to slice an earring hole, you need one hole shape, one circle for each layer you want to slice out of. So all I'm going to do is click on my hole once it's in a place that I like it. Again, you don't want the hole to be too close to the top or else it could rip out. I might even drag it down a tiny bit more. There we go. I'm going to click on the hole. I'm going to click on the bottom layer, the yellow layer, which is the layer I need to slice from. And I'm just going to click slice down here. And then it's going to look like you did something wrong if you haven't sliced a lot. Basically, this layer has come to the front. What I need to do is move it to the back. And I can't see how to do that on here, again, because my menu is a little abbreviated. But what I will just do is drag the layer down. And we can see here that we can delete. Wait, let me click out of here. We can just click on the little circle and delete. We can click on our red circle and delete. And now we have our hole. So once I've done all of that work to create the hole, then I want to select it and I want to duplicate it. So now we've got two little paw prints. And the only thing I want to do now is I want to flip the second paw print so that the earrings will be opposites. Whenever I make earrings, I like to have, one facing one way and one facing the other way so they look balanced on your face. And let me see again. Oh, this is a little tricky because I can't see my whole menu. Let me drag this a little bigger. There we go. So I don't know if you can see this right now, but I'm doing flip. Oops, no. I only want to flip one. Flip, horizontal. There we go. So now I've got both my earrings sized, both my earrings have a little hole, and we're ready to make it. So I'll click the Make It button. And I probably should have made the black a little bit of a different color because it might be hard for you to see. But on my little map preview here, I can see my two shapes. And what I'm going to need is the black is going to come from the glitter heat transfer vinyl. So I'll do that matte second. What I want to do first is my faux leather matte. And I can see that I need to cut these two shapes from a piece of faux leather that's about 3 inches wide and 2 inches tall. I'm going to drag it just a tiny bit over so I'm not too close to the edge. Let me actually do that. So 3 inches wide, 2 inches tall. And I don't need to mirror either of these mats because my earrings are, they're not exact copies, but they're, mirrored copies. So each earring is a mirrored copy of itself. So when we cut the faux leather and we cut the heat transfer vinyl, they're gonna match up. You'll see what I mean. Hi, Anne. Okay, so next I want to show you how I put a back on the cork. So let's come back to me. And let me actually put up my little link here. If anyone wants to get the links to the supplies, or if you want to grab this SVG from Design Bundles, which right now is free, I have the link up on the screen so that you can go to my page with all the links and you can grab that. So let me go ahead, switch to my overhead, and I'll leave that up for just a second for you. And I want to show you this really cool cork that I'm going to cut the paw print from. And Anne, I know you said you got here a little late. That's okay. We're going to be making these little paw print earrings with the SVG I just created. So I'm using cork for the bottom and I'm using glitter heat transfer vinyl for the top. And I always get questions about what do you put on the back? And this cork is a little bit thin. Let me see if I can show you. So I put some foil heat transfer vinyl on the back. So I'm going to show you how to do that first. Okay, so this is the cork I got from Amazon. It came in all these really pretty colors. I think they're great for fall. So I don't know if this is real cork. I guess it is. It has sort of a fabric backing. Can you see that? So this is the color that I used for the first one I did. It's kind of a honey color. There's a really pretty brown, a green, all these really nice colors. What color should I do? I'm going to use gold. So let's see. I bought some cork also with these beautiful patterns. I can't wait to show you. That's going to be next week. So maybe I'll do this brown. What do you think? The cork has a little bit of shimmer underneath. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really pretty and it cuts really nicely. So let's use that one. I'll move these over here. Again, you can use faux leather. You can use, any material that you want to use. All right, so first thing I want to do is put some foil on the back. So I'm going to cut a small piece of this, and I think I said 3 inches by 2 inches, something like that. So I'm just going to cut a piece of the cork that I know my shapes will cut out of. And if you make a lot of earrings with me, you know that I like to put a really small piece of the material, whether it's faux leather or cork or chunky glitter. I like to put a small piece on my cutting mat because it just cuts better. When you have a giant piece, it tends to shift around and then your cut gets messed up. So I've got this. I'm going to use my Easy Press Mini on the lowest setting, so I will go ahead and get that warmed up while I cut my foil. So this is Cricut brand iron-on foil, and I just love this stuff. I have it in so many colors, and I use it on the back of a bunch of my earrings, as I'm sure you know. But one of the most popular questions I get on YouTube and in Facebook groups that I sort of hop in and answer questions on is what to put on the back. So, you know, I have a YouTube video on 4 different ways to put a back on faux leather earrings, and this one is always my favorite. But when I do other demonstrations in my group here, I do want to show you all the, you know, the 4 different ways in different projects so you can kind of pick which one you like best. So I cut some foil that is slightly smaller than the cork. This is still heating up. I'm going to press it to the back. This is my little Teflon sheet. So this was a large Teflon sheet and I just cut it down small. You can use butcher paper or you can use parchment paper as a cover sheet. Really, it's whatever you have on hand. Oh, which clippy things, Jody? These are snap bracelets, you know, like those little bracelets like that. And I bought them in white and I use them as the bands for my heat transfer vinyl. I'll put a link for these for you on my page for this project with my Friday Live so you can see these. These come in patterns and colors if you really like, you know, cool patterns like rainbows or whatever, but I like white. They're super helpful. All right, so we are ready to go here. So you'd never want the foil to be outside of the edge of the faux leather or the cork because then it's going to get stuck to your mat, right? That makes sense. So I'm going to cover this up and I'm just going to press. All right. I've got comments from people that say Facebook user. I want to know who they are. It's kind of a bummer. It doesn't say your name. I saw Jody. I saw Anne. Anyway, I'm pretty excited. This is my first live. You know, a year ago I started my YouTube channel and I was terrified of video, and now I really like it. And I've gotten to know so many of you in Facebook and on my blog, and I just thought it would be really fun for us to get together and, you know, just for you to see me do a project without necessarily having to spend a day making a video, writing a blog post. I thought it'd be kind of fun just to do some lives. So this is hot, obviously. There is a thick, clear transfer tape that comes on the foil, and you want to peel that off. It's difficult. If you leave this on and you try and cut it through your machine, it's just not going to cut well. I had a reader that just kept telling me I can't get it to cut when I put the foil on the back. And then I realized in her photo she had this thick transfer sheet still on top, and that's why it didn't work. So I always like to go over one more time when I remove the, there we go. All right, so now we've got this. I'm going to put this to the side because I will need this again. And I'm going to use the purple matte. So nice and sticky purple matte. And I'm going to, again, look at Design Space on my matte preview, and I'm going to line it up where it needs to go. And even though this is a really nice new sticky mat, I'm still going to tape it down with blue painter's tape. And I know this stuff is expensive, but I just save them and I use them. If you could see the side of my desk, I just have, you know, 25 blue stickies stuck to my wall. All right. It really does make a difference. Also, this is the 3/4, I buy this tape special. It's 3/4 of an inch wide instead of an inch wide. I just find that it's less wasteful and I don't need to wrap around the side so much. So let's go ahead and cut this real quick. So let's go back to Design Space and I will show you my mat preview and my material selections. I'm making this project on the Maker, but everything that I'm doing today and all of these materials can be cut with any of the 5 Cricut machines. The Joy, the 2 Explorers. Hi, Beth. Thanks for telling me your name. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're here. So I have so many things connected to my computer that I had to do Bluetooth on my Maker, and it disconnects itself all the time. So let me just connect that again. That's just one of the hazards of having, you know, a bunch of cameras and a bunch of stuff connected to the computer. Sometimes it doesn't work and I have to restart it. It's super fun. Here, let me come back to me while I get this figured out. I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on. So let me know if you've cut cork, because I would really like to know. Let me show you these other beautiful patterns too that I got while I try and get this connected. I mean, can you see that? Look how pretty that is. That is printed cork. Isn't that crazy? They're beautiful. So I can't wait to play with these next week. All right, come on, little Maker, you can do it. There we go. I got it. So I don't know if you saw real quick there, I have 2 Joys connected. One is my daughter's and one is mine. So I always use faux leather paper thin. Even though this is cork, I cut chunky glitter with this setting. I cut everything with this setting. And you know, I like more pressure. If you're using the Explorer Air 2, you'll need to turn your dial to custom before you can select faux leather paper thin. The Joy, you can use the same setting, faux leather paper thin. So really any Cricut machine. Yes, isn't it really pretty, Anne? I think the cork is amazing. And it's perfect for fall. The colors are beautiful. I finished back to school this week for the blog and I'm moving straight into fall. So let me go ahead and switch to my overhead and we'll get these cut real quick. I know, Beth, I'm really glad you like them. I hope you get some. They're really, really pretty. And I've had this pack that I'm doing this with for, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 months, and I just wasn't sure what to do with it. So let me go ahead and press the C button and we'll get the cut going. At first, I was going to do this project with this smooth faux leather in brown, but it came out all right. But there just wasn't the contrast that you get with the cork. So anyway. I know this is an extra step to put the foil iron on the back, but it just looks so pretty and it makes it really look finished. I always cut twice. You guys know that. I just press the C button, let it cut again. Now, if you are using a faux leather like this one that has the white backing, it's going to look really nice when you put the foil on the back, but you will still have a white edge. So for that, I just take a Sharpie in a coordinating color and I color the edge when my earring is done. Oh, you did, Jody? You got some on Etsy? Ooh, double-sided. Is it easy to cut? I haven't had a lot of luck cutting double-sided materials. All right, let me unload this. So let me see if you can see here. So it did cut out the holes for us, and it might have cut them pretty well. We'll see. This mat is super, super sticky because it's new. I know people wash their mats, and I'm so jealous of people that have, you know, that do that, but I go through so many mats, I just buy them in 3-packs and sort of recycle them. I want to very carefully peel this up. Yeah, the hole actually came out pretty nice in these. I used to get frustrated when I would put the hole in the design and it didn't cut all the way, and now I don't stress about it. I just hole punch it if it didn't work. But that worked really well. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside, and then quickly I'm going to cut my gold, my glitter HTV. And let me go back up to this one. And again, I'm sorry that it's a dark color. It's a little hard to see. Why am I having trouble going back to Cricut? Come on, little Cricut. Why can't I select that? Let me make this bigger again. Okay. Oh, okay. It is selected to that. I just need to change my material. So I'm going to go to glitter vinyl, and I'm going to leave it on default. This is Caesar glitter heat transfer vinyl, which is really thick. The glitter is super sparkly and I love it, but it's thicker than I would say Cricut vinyl. So I cut this on the default setting and I repeat the cut. So again, we're just going to cut a little piece that'll fit. Let me look at my matte preview again and see. So again, I'm going to do 2 inches tall and 3 inches wide. Do y'all get like pet hair on your mats? It's ridiculous. I don't know how it happens. It's so gross. Oh, so it did work, Jody. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, the double-sided materials are so nice because then you don't have to do the extra steps, but I just have trouble getting them to cut. So top corner, your mat should be nice and sticky. If it's not, don't be afraid to put a little blue tape on here. The shiny side goes down. And let's hope we're connected. Oh my goodness. There we go. Let me see if I can catch up on some comments here. I'm not sure who asked me about the deep cut blade. I really don't use the deep cut blade, to be honest. The only time I use the deep cut blade is when I'm cutting the Cricut brand genuine leather. Then I use the deep cut blade. But I really don't find a need for it, honestly. I use the regular fine point blade that comes with all 5 of the Cricut machines. But that's interesting. I don't cut a lot of cardstock, but that's interesting that you said that it works well on cardstock. I'll have to try it. And I do want to start cutting some cardstock. Let me repeat this real quick. And I'll show you, while that's cutting one more time, I buy these little earring hooks on Amazon in gold and silver. You guys have seen those. And then I love these little jump rings. They come in all different colors. And this is a 6mm size. I did those earrings in silver, so I think I'll do gold for these. Well, yeah, because I have gold on it. Hi, I don't know who said hi. Tell me who you are. It just says Facebook user. That's so weird. But I wanted to show y'all this project because I wanted to show you there's so many cute SVGs. So many cute SVGs that we find, and I don't know if y'all know how to like turn it into earrings. So I wanted to show you. I know you think that it's magic. You're always like, how do you do that cool thing? I just basically, take a shape and make it small and put a hole and make sure that it's not too small for me to cut. And then it's an earring. I do a lot of test cutting, don't get me wrong. I have to check a lot, you know, especially when I'm doing a tutorial or a project that I want to share with people. I have to make sure that the pieces aren't too small because that's no fun. I know there's a little heart in here. Let me get that out. There we go. And we are about 2 minutes away from having some little paw print earrings. So I know I asked in the group, I asked what you guys wanted to see in terms of projects, and your number one choice was Halloween, and your second choice was fall, and your third choice was pets. So I'm a little out of order, but don't worry, I have lots of Halloween and fall coming. So I'm just going to cut these apart. And let me see if I can, let me zoom in a little bit here. My very low tech. There we go. Move that out of the way. And then it's just a matter of making sure this thing is still on, which it is. So if you're, I wanted to mention, so if you're cutting a material that the hole didn't cut right, then you can use one of these little 1/16 inch punches. You can check, you know, get it from the link on my blog. I have it linked there for you. I love this thing and I use it all the time. So what I do is I punch a hole in one of them and then I match up the mirrored shapes. And then I punch the second one using the first one as a sort of a guide. And then now it's just a matter of lining them up. I'm not sure if that's right. Let's see. Nope, that's not right. I'm surprised the dog and the cat have not come to the door here of my studio and started banging on the door. Maybe that was right. So you're just going to line them up. Excuse me. Let me take a little sip of water here. So I've got it lined up and I'm just going to press it on. Just like before. Again, you can use parchment paper, a Teflon sheet, or butcher paper, but don't use wax paper because it'll melt. I love this little Easy Press Mini. I use it for so many things. Do y'all have one of these, an Easy Press Mini? I'm obsessed with it. I really don't use my Easy Press a whole lot. I have a big one. I also have a big heat press in the garage from doing t-shirts a lot and stuff. All right. And then I just want to carefully peel back. You always want to peel slowly because if you see that the vinyl is lifting up, you want to just lay it right back down and press it a few more times. Well, that looks pretty cute. Y'all know I love glitter. There we go. But if you don't like glitter, you certainly don't have to use it. These ones I'm noticing are just a tiny bit larger than the first one I did. So really, you could size this down. I would say 1 inch. You could do 0.9. You know, this is a very simple design. So basically, as long as you can weed the design, then you're good to make it smaller. So last thing, I'm going to open up my jump rings and I'm going to attach the earring hooks. So you know, if you watch my videos before, you know that I like to turn the bottom of the earring loop so that the earring will hang straight. So I grab the bottom. The trick to doing this without the hook breaking, because I get this question a lot, is to cover as much as you can of the loop with your pliers and cover as much of the hook as you can with your fingers, and then just twist. And now the earring hook is facing that way. And same thing on this one. Just turn. And then we'll just open up our jump rings. I like to use 2 pliers, which I know you've seen me do a billion times. 2 pliers, 1 on each side. The opening is facing up. And I just twist to open. Can you see that? There we go. And I'm going to put on my paw. And I'm going to put on my earring hook, making sure the earring hook is going to hang the right way, and close it up. And that's it. So I've got this one. Let me do the other one. What do you think about these colors of cork? Isn't it pretty? So excited about it. Let me do the other one real quick. So when I do other projects going forward, some of them I'll use my designs, some of them I'll use these freebies from design bundles. Let me know if you like that option. I know a lot of y'all are design bundles shoppers. Some of them I'll use from Etsy. We'll just kind of play and also Design Space. Do y'all have access to, a lot of you have Cricut access? I just got it. I haven't had it for 2 years. Anyway, see how this one's a little bigger than this one? Does anyone have any questions? Well, if not, I wanted to say thank you so much for being on my first live, and I hope you enjoyed this little project of how to take an SVG from design bundles or wherever you find it and turn it into an earring file and then make the little earrings. I showed you some of my favorite tips and tricks for earring making, and I can't wait to do this again with y'all. Remember to head over to my blog at amyromeo.com/getcrafty for the list of all the supplies and the link to the free design bundles file. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.